Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have a very interesting article regarding Zelensky and Medvedev. I will read you the title and we'll go from there. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda from September 12th, 2022. Zelensky rejects negotiations with Russia. Medvedev responds with threats. Now, Russia was always, from the beginning and before this war in Ukraine, was open for negotiation. They never said, we will not negotiate. I heard the Ukrainians saying, we will not negotiate it. Oh, we might or will not. The other ones were always open. So when you hear an article or some guy talking about, Russians refuse to negotiate, that's false. Because the Russians, Lavrov said, Peskov said, always they're ready to negotiate. The problem is they are, standing behind their objectives and say, okay, these are our objectives. If you are ready to discuss those objectives, we're gonna negotiate, no problem. So the Ukrainians say, no, we're not gonna discuss that because we disagree with your points, starting points. And the Ukrainians came with their starting points. So when Zelensky says that he rejects negotiations with Russia, is not something new. But they make it like Russia now, under the pressure of some successes due to the counteroffensive, Ukrainian counteroffensive, shows like Russia right now is begging for negotiations, and Zelensky, the tough guy, is going to say, no, I'm not going to negotiate, I'm going to beat you until you go back to Vladivostok, which it's just that's the way I think they try to portray these negotiations or the situation. Regarding Medvedev responding with threats, threats could be interpreted like this. Well, if you break into my house, I will have to call the law enforcement and I will probably have to defend myself. Now, you just expressed your steps that you will take to deal with your behavior. You can take it as a threat, you can take it as a warning, you can take it as next steps I will have to. So, I don't know, let's see how these guys interpret the threats of Medvedev. I haven't read the article, so let's go and see. Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of the Security Council of the Russian Federation, said that Russia still demands, quote-unquote, total surrender of Ukraine on its own terms, commenting on President Volodymyr Zelensky's statement about the impossibility of negotiations with Russian Federation until the war is over. I don't see any threats so far, and now Medvedev obviously thinks or knows that those Ukrainian successes are not determining the outcome of the war, which they don't. Do the Ukrainian armies have success? Yes, they are successful. Now, how major that is, I don't know. How prolonged, how long it will take, it could stall 5 minutes ago, if you know what I mean. Or it could go and really destroy the whole unity of the Russian army, and then they will just, ask for peace and all that. I don't know with the situation, but these guys are telling us that Zelensky wants to, until it gets them out and all that, is not going to negotiate. The other one said, well, we still want to achieve our goals. That means he still believes in his possibility of victory. So, quote from Medvedev, a certain Zelensky said that he will not hold a dialogue with those who issue ultimatums. This year's ultimatums are a mere warm-up before the demands to be made in the future. And he knows this, the total surrender of the Kiev regime on Russia's terms. So previously, on September 10th, President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine stressed that it still was impossible to negotiate the end of the war with the Russian Federation because it had failed to formulate any adequate offers. I don't think that's correct. I think the key word is adequate. So it's they're not there yet. So the armed forces of Ukraine are carrying out a successful counteroffensive on the Russian occupied territory of Ukraine. Alexei Reznikov, the third one in the Trinity, Zhmyhal, Zelensky and Reznikov, the Ukrainian leaders, The Minister of Defense. So you got the Minister of Defense, you have the Prime Minister, and you have the President. They're all right there leading Ukraine, that nation. But if the Ukrainians are not capable, you need 3 Jews to defend you, right? Because you're too dumb to do anything, I guess. No? Reported that the counteroffensive in Kharkiv Oblast was going much better than expected. In particular, Zelensky said that in Kharkiv Oblast, defenders of Ukraine had regained control of more than 30 settlements. Okay, well, that's good. It says here that after the armed forces of Ukraine liberated the settlements of Kharkiv Oblast, Sergei Lavrov, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, said that Moscow is not opposed to negotiations with Ukraine. They were never opposed. So I don't know, they make something like, oh, we're winning. Those guys try to negotiate, but we'll not negotiate because we want to get them out. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the case. You didn't win the war yet. You had a counteroffensive. It's like, you know, someone in a tennis game served and the other one is ready. What is he going to do with the serve? He's going to send it back. He's not going to send it back. He's going to, you know what I mean? The same is here. Now the ball is in the Russian territory and the serve was, according to the information as of now, was a good one. We'll see what the Russians are doing with it. Now, if Russians are losing it, then the Ukrainians will score and go from there. And so on. It's going to score. The game is not over. The match is not over. So this guy, and I didn't see the threat over there, the ultimatum. What is the ultimatum? He said, we will still want to achieve those goals that we invaded or started the operation right in the first place. So I don't know what you're talking about. So the Russians still maintain that they want to achieve their 4 points. Clear. That's all they want to do. The other ones say, well, we just got a counteroffensive. They want to negotiate. Now, it's possible that the Russians are just living in denial, and maybe the counteroffensive is so fantastic that they don't understand it. We don't know what the extent of that counteroffensive is, because the front is extended about 1,300 kilometers. That's about 900, almost 900 miles long. And you have two counteroffensives. And those counteroffensives are not on large areas. They're pointed. Okay, that's good. I mean, I'm not trying to minimize that, but we don't know the consequences and how much you can keep going. I don't know what the Russians will do. You can talk about surrendering. You just served. You're in the middle of the game. You just served and you wait to see what the other guy is doing. If maybe your serve is good, but you don't win with one serve. You have to keep going, keep serving, and keep serving strongly. And as I said, regarding these threats, what was the threat coming from Medvedev? Yeah, we're going to come and we're going to achieve that. This is what we're going to do. And Zelensky, we're not going to negotiate. Yeah, don't negotiate, that's fine. I mean, right now you think you're going to achieve your goals. But I posted another video with the Russians bringing some landing ships, getting them ready, preparing them in the Black Sea. What's a landing ship in Black Sea? Probably going and attacking from the south, right? Opening another front in the south of Ukraine, which is Odessa, behind or in the south of Mykolaiv, trying probably to stall their counteroffensive by trying to surround these guys, encircle them, because the middle front is not broken, just the north and the south, and I don't know how major that is. So I explained that in the other video. So thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.